Today I'm here with a Millionaire. If you're frequent on Instagram, I'm sure you may have seen this face before, even TikTok. He is a life coach. He's an IT trainer. He owns Venice View Resort in Ghana as well. He does trading as well. He's Ghanaian. Let me add that. And then I'm sure you've also come across a couple of very controversial posts on Instagram or reels or shorts. He's the one who's causing all the controversy. So today I have here Mr. kwesi Nkrumah. Stop that. As you can see from the environment, I'm still in the US. I'm in the DMV area. So honestly, I am so grateful for your time and then even for the warm reception. Guys, the way he welcomed me, myself, my dad, and then Tracy. Some of you know Tracy. Are you a millionaire?
I mean, you can value me and my assets and everything, and then it's going to be a couple million USD.
I tap into your blessings.
USD, not Zimbabwe.
That we have to know that. Wow. So you live in the DMV area. I know that most people who know you on social media will know that you're in the US. How long have you been living in the US?
I haven't been here for long. Most people wouldn't say. A lot of people also think it's long. I've been here just about 7-8 years.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. So who are you?
I mean, I'm just a random guy, just like anybody out there in the street. The only difference is that I'm persistent and I do a lot of things. I've failed in a lot of things. Okay. I've been successful in others too. So it's not been, easy. I've failed more than I've succeeded. So
first of all, let me clarify. Random guys don't drive this kind of cars. Random guys don't own resorts in Ghana. That is far from random, by the way. So ever since you moved here, what exactly have you been doing?
So I've been focused. So every time I walk around or I drive around and I see a business model, most of my time I've been spent thinking about interacting with them, thinking about how they are making money, how their operations are involved. So I would be walking down the streets and then I'll see just Mexicans or folks who are taking care of lawn. I want to understand their business model. Why is it that these guys will get up in the morning and then they'll come to your house and say, hey, I'll take care of your lawn. What is it in it? Every single aspect of the business, I pay attention to it and understand how they run it. Recently just started going out, so you'll be seeing me in the clubs and lounges. I also want to understand how they run that business because they make a lot of money.
I was about to say, I saw a poster of you with some Ghanaian musicians. I saw Kofi Kenata and some other people. So you are into entertainment as well. You're into everything.
Yeah. For every industry, I want to understand how best you can make more out of it, how they're making their money. You don't just see it and assume. Most of them are making a lot of money, and all you have to do is pay attention, a little bit of attention to detail, and see the step-by-step process involved in how they are making money, and you'll be surprised. I learned a lot in the past week about transportation industry, and I was about to post a video talking about why our youth back home are wasting their time. The Indians, Filipinos, they are sitting in India and they are making several thousands of dollars in the transportation industry in America. I was amazed when I found out what they were doing. It was crazy. And so, there's so many opportunities out there.
Wow. So did you school here? Would you say you've been successful? Because of your education background in the US? Or?
So if you know me, this is a very controversial topic that a lot of people don't like me saying, but it is the truth. Okay, the media and everything they say out there, most of them are false. Ghana, especially Ghana, that's where I'm coming from, has the best education in the world.
I agree.
Why do I say this? I'm an engineer. So
what kind of engineering did you do?
I studied telecoms engineering. It's a subsection of electrical engineering. A specialization, if you like. I paid 500 Ghana cedis at the time. It was just about $200 per year for my education in telecom engineering. Right? The same knowledge that I have, if you come to the US, you will pay about $70,000 per year.
Student loan debts for
$70,000 per year. So if I acquire the knowledge with $200 per year, and then someone acquires the same knowledge with $70,000 per year, if you are a math enthusiast, if you want to calculate the efficiency, you will know that the knowledge to tuition in Ghana versus the knowledge to tuition, the ratio, you will see that mine is way better than the guy coming from the US. So that's why I say Ghana has the best education out there. And of course, it's the same content. When I came out here, the same content. When I look at their syllabus, it's the same thing that they teach. So if you're out there in Ghana, take your education seriously because you have the cheapest for quality. Don't
Yeah.
take it for granted. You're going to see all this media talking about poor quality of education in Ghana. It's
not
false.
true.
We have
If that
the
was-
best out there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
If that was the case, if our education was that bad, they
Yeah.
wouldn't be chasing nurses
Yeah.
from Ghana,
Yeah.
Africa, and
Yeah.
I'm a real example.
Yeah.
I did all my schooling in Ghana, but I'm
Yep.
practicing. And
Exactly.
then Ghanaian nurses move into the US
Yep.
and then other parts
Yep.
of the world all the time.
Yep.
Let me just say that this video is proudly sponsored by Lemfi. Lemfi is an international money transfer app, okay, that allows you to send money from the UK, US, and Canada to over 10 different African countries. Talk about the Ghana, talk about Nigeria, talk about Benin, Rwanda, Cameroon, and so many other countries, and with no transfer charges, 0 transfer charges. As a matter of fact, if you also use the referral code NANEL, and then you make a first transfer of about £100 or $150 or Canadian dollars, you qualify to get either £15 or as much as $20 or 30 Canadian dollars as a bonus. And remember that no transfer charges, and they have the best rates ever. Thank you, Lemfi, for sponsoring today's video. And I think we also have an advantage because, for instance, like you said, with the amount you paid for your tuition, you come here and then let's say you start working and then you don't have any student loan debts to pay.
Yep.
However, people that are doing the same program here,
Yep.
they are most likely on student loans.
Yeah.
And then what I didn't even know is that the loans start accumulating interest from day one.
Yeah. It's
So they start working and then they have to pay all this debt. So we have a huge advantage because we come debt free.
Yeah.
However, they start life in debts.
Yep.
So their net
debts.
worth is in the negative
Yeah,
already.
you service the debts
Yeah.
once you start working out here. So that's what it is.
So when you came here, what exactly were you doing?
I schooled a little bit. I went through the whole process of CPT, OPT. So some of my videos you're going to see CPT, OPT. I try to mentor and coach Ghanaian students who are here who are also going through that process on F1 visa, how to get a job on CPT, OPT, and then eventually get your H1B and then towards the green card path. So I went through that whole process.
By the way, I'll leave kwesi Nkrumah's social media handles for those who are seeing him for the first time on the screen, so you can see. How did you make your first $100,000? Let's start.
Okay, so I mean, I'm a specialist in a particular area. I'm a software engineer, right?
Okay.
So the first 100K, fine, you make 6 figures when you get out of school and you start working. But your first 100K will come from judicious decisions, right?
Okay.
So at the time when, if you look back 2015, there are some stocks and portfolios that from then till now have gone up about 500%. Wow. Now the question is, how do you identify those stocks that potentially will go up? And even crypto, that will potentially go up 500,000%.
Wow.
So there's this thing that I teach, right? Say you are starting out, you have just say $10,000, right? Sell everything, your shoes. Don't live lavish like me, because I also have a lot of debt. It's not just about assets, right? You also have to have some debt. Sell everything, shoes, clothes, bags, houses, rent, cars, everything. Sell everything. Maybe you sell everything, you have 50 grand, right? And then if you take some of my courses or if you reach out to me, I can give you a list of tickets or stocks that you can say, okay, I have 50 grand.
Okay.
I'm going to buy these. I'll pack everything, go live in a remote village in Ghana called Nyamebechre, right? Nyamebechre, there's so many Nyamebechre villages in Ghana.
Okay.
So some in Western region, Central, so many of them. Go live there, keep that 50,000 in that portfolio that I gave you, live quietly and calmly for the next 5 years and watch that money turn into $500,000.
Jesus Christ.
Right?
Okay.
Or you can stay out here and go out every Saturday night, go to Maldives, be on Instagram posting all the nice videos, and that 50,000 will end up being 5,000 after 5 years. So yeah, I took very careful decisions, and then I bought the right portfolio, and then it went up, and it keeps going up.
Okay, would you like to share some of them, or unless they are part of the
It won't be financial advice, but yesterday, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted that Tesla was going to go gaga. So if you were following me and you check my status, I posted Tesla is going to go up today, so buy more. It was around $160, but today is $190. So even if you have, that difference is 30, right? So if you have just even 10 of Tesla stocks, that's $300 easy, right? Now imagine you have 1,000, that's $30,000.
Wow.
And I would advise everybody to, this is not financial advice though, but I would advise everybody to hold on to Tesla for the next 5 years because
Okay.
I know it's gonna get to 1,000, and that's my retirement ticket.
Wow. So if you don't know him, I'm going to show you. We're going to go to his office as well.
Yep.
And then you see how he monitors the market. Wow. Please show me the way. I need to be rich as well.
Even if you have $5,000, right? Sell everything.
As for that one, it'll be difficult.
Exactly, that's the thing. That's the thing. Because if you want to give yourself 5 years to be rich, sell everything, buy the stocks, get the right ones, and wait 5 years. I told one guy from the UK, he's in my class, and he's doing it.
Do you mean your IT training class?
No, the trading class. I have a trading.
You have a trading class. You have an IT.
Yeah, the
training
IT class is there. I have a trading class outside of the life coach and mentorship.
How much is your resort worth?
So the resort right now should be around, and that's where I put my first million. So it should be around $1 million. We ran that resort from Ghana. I think at the time my mentality was, you're living in America, anything can happen.
Anything
right?
can happen, yeah.
But I think if I were to go back, I wouldn't have done it. But I guess we did that. And it's
so you're all for invest where you are,
not necessarily where you are, where it makes much more sense, because now I know a lot to know that there are certain houses in Italy for $5,000 in Sicily, Italy. I was going to do a video
about it.
So if I can buy even 10 of them, right, flip it, 10 will be 50,000. If I can buy 10 and flip it, and it ends up costing me $200,000 or $300,000 in total, I can put that on even simple Airbnb or rent them out and be guaranteed constant cash flow without depreciation.
That's true.
Versus investing all that money back home, right? I'm not saying investing back home is bad, but I'm looking at the global economy versus you can do something back home just for the sake of the community, like the resort that we did. It's for the sake of the community. We employ them, they got work to do. We're also trying to turn that whole place into a tourist hub, right? But if I bought those houses in Sicily, I would be guaranteed a much more stable cash flow.
I get it.
Monthly.
Wow.
So yeah.
So this is what you do with most of your time.
So
monitoring
the monitoring bit, I do it, and then also it's actually very minimal. It takes a very minimal portion of my time. Okay. Most of my time I'm doing sales now. I recently realized that as an engineer we don't do good at sales. Okay. So I had to learn that skill to do sales. And sales is not just selling. Sales is much more deeper. And I wish everybody knew that. If you do sales, that's where you boost your business. So I'm doing a lot of sales around a lot of products that I've built. Okay. Some of you are actually using it without even know. So you would say that stocks and shares helped you get your first 100,000, and then you'd say that's along with work as well. Along with work.
Do you have like a daytime job, 9 to 5?
I used to, but not anymore. Right now I'm broke. I'm also getting into the space of government contracts. Okay. So I teach that as well.
But you don't have like an employer paying you every week or every 2 weeks. Like you don't have that.
No, I do have. So if I have a contract, the person's your employer, right? Okay. So if you have a contract,
when you say contract, do you mean Ghana, like Ghana government contract?
No, government contracts in the US.
In the US. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's where I met this gentleman. I recently have been going to the club. So in the club. And then he says, I've been seeing on Instagram, I know you're just talking, you're not making any. I know you're just talking. I'm like, come here. What do you do? It's like, oh, I'm into data. And I'm like, yeah, I do data too. Okay. And I told him, do you know you can make $5 million every year just doing that? And he's like, oh, show me. So I sat him down. So I'm going to give you a free class just because you said that I'm going to give you free info that's going to change your life. Okay. Did you ask him, do you know that there are contracts out there that are set aside for black people? He said no. And I asked him, do you know there are data-related contracts that are set aside for black people? He said no. So I set his account up and I told him, go, start searching, and then bid on these contracts. He calls me all the time. He's like, I thought you were just talking on Instagram, but that advice is going to change my life. And yes, out here, we have contracts set aside for females, just because they are female. Yeah. We have contracts set aside for small businesses, just because they're a small business. We have those set aside for black businesses. Wow. And so what that means is there are 100 contracts that the government gives out. They're like, oh, these 5, we are setting them aside for small businesses or minority-owned businesses to bid on. But still, they are not doing it. We are not doing it. Why?
We don't know. We lack.
It's because we don't want to sit down and spend weeks, months doing paperwork and researching. We don't have that discipline. If you don't have that discipline, you're not gonna get that contract, and you're not gonna get the money that you want, and you're gonna get the lifestyle that you want. You're gonna be on Instagram posting the wrong stuff, making everybody think you're doing well, but you're not. And that's what I teach. So if anybody is interested, once you click on my handle, I can walk you through. Wow. You get your account and you can start.
How much you charge for the coaching?
The life coach is pretty straightforward. Some of them I do them for free, but the contract it's $3,000. But for African Americans, I reduce it to $1,500.
And for Ghanaians?
Anybody living in Ghana, we have a whole separate session for them.
Okay.
But if you're in the US,
like migrants like myself,
who are living in the US, UK, it's $1,500, and it's usually on a payments plan.
And what's the duration?
Mostly 3 months, 2 to 3 months.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for most of my classes, they are 2 to 3 months. And I always encourage folks to take it seriously. So let's come here 5 years, right? This is June 2019, right?
Yeah.
What was the price of Tesla?
$14.79.
That should upset you. That should make you go mad, right? Now look at this.
Wow.
What date is this?
2021.
How many years from 2019?
Just 2.
2 years. What were you doing? that should upset you. That should upset you, right?
Yeah.
So if this is in a span of 2 years from 2019, it went from what? 14
up to,
right?
Yeah.
Up to it went all the way to $400 in 2021, right?
Yeah.
So what that means is if you bought 1,000 stocks here, you will spend about 15,000, right?
Yeah.
So if you have $15,000, just $15,000, right?
Yeah.
And you bought 1,000 of them.
Yeah.
So you have 1,000 stocks.
Yeah.
So it's still 1,000 you hold, and it gets to this point, right?
Yeah.
Let's say it got to 400,000. So 400 times 1,000, right?
Yeah.
In 2 years, you have $400,000.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
This is all I teach. It's very simple. And
but what
then
if
now
Tesla falls?
It will fall along the way,
but
eventually, effectively, it always goes up.
Okay.
Included.
The thing is, we don't have that knowledge. All we know is work.
Yeah, get a paycheck, and then that's it. Yeah. So
that's
just that little knowledge of saying, let me buy these stocks and forget about it for the next 10 years. Because it's going to go up, and that's where you become totally different from your colleagues and your friends.
Where did you get that knowledge from yourself?
I wish I knew it earlier, though.
But who taught you all that?
I'm very curious. So when I was in high school, I went to Ghana Senior High School, Ghana's. When I was in high school, of course, I was the best graduating student of my year.
Okay.
I was very curious. There wasn't anybody in my family that would say, I'm going to teach you this or that. At the time, good for me, the internet was there, so I spent most of my time at the internet cafe researching. There was a friend of mine called Fafa. He was always amazed because I read pretty much everything. I knew pretty much everything, a little bit about every subject out there. So that's what helped. It wasn't from family,
so
it wasn't
just your
from
own research.
It's a curiosity, that's all.
So I have been in the UK for 6 years, right?
Yeah, that's
I am
that's
nowhere close to the things you have achieved, but I believe that I'm a hard worker. So for migrants like myself who have moved from, let's say, Ghana, other parts of Africa to UK, US, Canada, wherever, that want to do well, what will be your advice? Because I can see that your wealth is not just you working hard and picking over time and working Monday to Sunday. What can you tell us that what is the way to making wealth in this part of the world? What's your advice?
So one thing you should not forget is that, remember there was a time when you were in Ghana, you didn't have $1,000 in your account.
You're right.
And you were praying, doing all the right things to make sure you get out here.
Yeah.
And now you're already out here.
Yeah.
So if you're already out here and you're seeing people who are billionaires, who are millionaires, the question that you should ask yourself is, how do I also do the same? I have nothing. I don't have.
Hey.
I have nothing. I'm aspiring to even bigger things, right? I don't count out here.
Okay.
There are way wealthier people out here. So the thing that I said to myself the other time was, how do I get there? When I want to answer that question, I realized that I need to pay attention.
Okay.
You just have to pay attention.
Yeah.
The wealth is around us, especially out here in the West, but we don't pay attention.
Okay.
So the number one thing that will make you wealthy out here in the West is sales.
Sales.
And when I say sales,
something to sell,
and when I say sales, a lot of people think going to Alibaba and buying stuff and coming to sell. That's good. That's just retail. But sales, as in whatever industry you are in, doing sales for it. So let's say
I'm a nurse.
You are a nurse, right? In the UK.
Yeah.
You can make $1 million, easy million, just doing the right kind of sales.
Like
so
what?
so let's delve into your area. What kind of nursing do you do?
I'm in a nursing home.
So this is where you do the connection. Do you think there are people out there in Europe and UK who are looking for your services?
Yeah, of course.
There are, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now you yourself, do you think there are people out there around the world like you who want to come and play the role you're playing?
Oh, I get you. So starting like an agency where I connect other nurses.
Don't skip it. Don't skip it. That's one thing I realized. Pay attention to every little step of the way.
Okay.
Do you think there are people who want to come and do what you're doing?
Of course.
Do you think there are people who are looking for your services?
Of course.
What would it take? So let's just take one. People who want to come to the UK and do what you're doing. Do you think there are hundreds of thousands of people?
Millions of people.
Millions of people.
Yeah.
So you have a number, right?
Yeah.
So how do you convert those millions of people into, let's just say 100,000? So that would mean 1 million, each person will pay like 10 cents, right? How do you convert that into, or even get 100,000 of them to give you £1?
If I'm connecting them, I give them what they're looking for. They're looking for jobs. So I find these jobs that are looking for them and I connect them.
So like first you have to identify where they are.
Okay.
Most of them are going to be either in Africa or Asia.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's say you dedicate the next 6 months of your YouTube that I'm going to help you come to the UK or the US to work as a nurse.
Yeah.
Okay, how many people are interested? This is the link. If you are interested, I'm going to send you free PDFs and step-by-step process on how to get there. Open up a simple, you don't have to create a website. Not everybody has a website. Do a YouTube video. You have a lot of followers. Open up a simple Google Sheet. Put it on the description in YouTube and then push the video. Run, let's say, $200 or £200 ad on the video and then push it, target Asia, target Africa. You will get about 100,000 people or 200,000 people clicking on the link, putting their name, number, email on the sheet, right?
Yeah.
Now you have their name, number, email. All of these people want to come to the US or UK.
Yeah.
The gospel truth is not everybody will make it.
True.
But you are still going to give them the resources.
Yeah.
Some of them will still come. That's going to be your testimony. So let's say now you put together a 3-page, 5-page PDF on how this works. And then that 5-page PDF costs £5, right? You have their name, their email, their telephone number, and then you send one email every week. That's one thing a lot of people don't do. Sales means consistency. Okay. Send one email to all of them every week that, hey, here's a link on how to migrate to the US if you're a nurse. Click on it and then just donate $5 to my YouTube page. And you have 500,000 numbers or emails on there from around the world. And there's a more likelihood you will get just 10,000 of them paying you £5. And you are legally making that money. Yeah. You've given them the information that they want. They can reach out to you if they want premium service, you charge higher. Okay. And then now they are all going through the process. Some will get it. Obviously, it's dependent on immigration. But you've given them the knowledge. Yeah. You've earned your easy 50K. You go and put it in the stock market, S&P, like you're doing, which is great. I'll encourage you to keep doing it and forget about it for 5 years. So you can't just get up and work Monday to Friday with a paycheck for the next 5 years and make that money. So I just gave you a step-by-step process on how to make your first £50,000. And you didn't pay me, so I'm gonna have to take money from her. She's gonna have to pay the $1,500.
Thank you so much, honestly, for your time. I have personally learned a lot.